Hello everyone. Today we're learning about Mציעא Daf Hayomi. The learning today is L'Refuas, my brother Avram Pinchas. So we're going to start out from Hayomi Amud Aleph about 7 lines down, Ikedamri. But just to understand the Gemara, we have to recap a little bit and go back to the Gemara early on. So the Gemara, the Mishnah said that V'chulon Sharmu, all the arts men who said that means a cobbler who got shoes to fix, and he finished his job and he calls up the person who gave him the shoes and he tells them, take yours and pick up your shoes and bring me money when you can. So that's it, he's not Shoy Misacha anymore, he becomes a Shoy Mechinam. And then we brought a Mishnah that if a Shoyel told the person who's lending him the animal, send it to me, and he sent it to him, and on the way he died, the Shoyel's already Chayav, even if he never got to him yet. And on the way, and we said meaning that on the way back as well, if the owner asked it to send it back, so therefore the show's potter. But if the show sent it on his own accord, he's still chayav until it gets to the owner. And on that, Rafa and Bar Papa said in the name of Chizah, that's talking about only if you returned it in middle of the time where he took it to borrow. Let's say he took it for 30 days, so within those 30 days. But if after the 30 days, once the 30 days over, he's not shoyel anymore, and he's potter ba'intzim. And the Fida Shitta before, we said a kash on it from our Mishnah. Now the Gemara is going to go a different mahalach about it. Said the Gemara, Ikadarmi, some people learn it like this. Omar Nachman Bar Papa, Af Anu Namitanina, I have a raya for this. Said in the Mishnah, once he said, take the shoes and bring me the money, become a Shoy Mechinam. My love, isn't it so? Hu adin gomartiv, that the same din, if he said I finished the job, even if he never said he could pick it up and give me money later, the same din will apply. And that means once he's finished his job, that's it, he's not Shoy Mesach anymore, he turns him into a Shoy Mechinam. And therefore, it's a raya to what we just said before, that if it's after Yemei Sheiloso, he's not shoyel anymore. So we have a raya from our Mishnah. So the Gemara, Loi, Toile Shilcho Shaini. If he said, take it, I don't want it anymore, and give me the money, then he becomes a Shoy Mechinam. But if he just said, I finished the job, that doesn't make him a Shoy Mechinam, he's still a Shoy Mesacha, and therefore we do have no raya from our Mishnah to the case of shoyel. Huna Mar Bar Mareimar Kamei de Ravina Romi. So Una, the son of Mareimar, in front of Rina, asked the kasha between two mishnayos, and he gave a teretz. Why the kasha? And it says in our Mishnah, once they said you could pick it up and give me the money later, and the same din will apply if he said I finished the job, he becomes a Shoy Mechinam. And I have a kasha. The shoyel said, send it. The shoyel meso, and he sent it to the shoyel, and it died on the way chayev, because once he sent it to the shliach to the shoyel asked for it. It's in his achrayas. And also when he gives it back until it comes to the owner, he's considered a shoyel. And here we said, by us we said that once he finished the job, he goes from a Shoy Mesacha to a Shoy Mechinam. Umishani, and he says a teretz, Omar Afar from Bapropa, Omar of Chizda, Lo Yishonu Elech Sheichziv Teir Shiloso. Aval Achei Mei Shiloso Potter. It's not kasha, because the Mishnah over there about Shoyel is talking about where he gave it back in the middle of the period of the time. But if he actually waited until the end of the time, and the time that he borrowed it is over, then Onochinami, he's not Shoyel anymore. And it's like a marativ, and it fits in very good with our Mishnah, and therefore we do have a kasha. So there's three mahalchim how to learn it. There's a kasha, and they will bring you the teretz, the raya, etc. Iboilu, the Yishivnei Yeshiva asked a shaila. Potum Yishoyel v'chayv k'Shoy Mesacha. When we said the shoyel is not shoyel anymore once the time of the she'ila period time is over, that means he's not shoyel, but he's chayav v'gneva v'aveda like a Shoy Mesacha. Or dim a Shoy Mesacha nami le'avi. Maybe it's even a Shoy Mesacha he's not, and he's potter v'gneva v'aveda. So Omar Meimar Mistabra, the svara is potter mishoyel. He's potter for intzim v'chayav k'Shoy Mesacha, but he will be chayav v'gneva v'aveda. Why that? Oil v'nene, since he he has know that he borrows something and he doesn't have to pay for it, mehane, he's willing to become a Shomer Socha for the period of time after the Sheila period is finished. Ava Tanya Kavosei Da Meima, some people are not good as Ava, but Aryeh from the Brisa like a Meimah. It says if someone goes to the artist and tells him, I want to send my father-in-law these nice pots as a present. And the new son-in-law told the artist, if they like it and they say they want to keep it, and I'll pay you for them wherever the value is, wherever we agree on. If they say they don't like it, we have already cutlery, we don't need it, we have these pots, I'll give it to you back, but I'll still pay you. And I'll pay you the value by when you give someone a present, even if he doesn't accept it. There's a toivas ano, because the person's gain points by trying to give a present. So that's worth money. So I'll pay you that value. Shabahem. And some oinus happened to him. If it was on the way to the house of his father-in-law, chayav, because it's like his until he gives it back. The Chazira, if the father-in-law said he doesn't want it and something happened on the way back, potter. Why? Because he's only a noise sacha on the way back. So you can see clearly that when at the beginning he's like a shoyel or like a buyer, but once you realize that he doesn't want the deal anymore, he's a noise sacha. He's not shemechino. Becomes a noise sacha. So it's a raya to a meimer asvara to say that shoyel after his period's over, it doesn't become a shemechino, he becomes a shomer sacha. Au Gavra, this person, the Zovin Lechamo Lechavre, he sold wine to his friend. His friend told him, I'm taking it to this place where there's a marketplace. If I could sell it over there, mutter. Very good sale. If I won't be able to sell it, I'll give it back to you and I'll get back my money. Ozal, he went to that place. It didn't manage to sell it. But also on the way back, Atnis Oines happened. Also, he came in front of Rav Nachman, Rav Nachman was mechayvim and it said you have to pay because you have to pay because you consider the Christ is under you. Rav Nachman. It says what we just learned before, where the guy sent his father-in-law these presents. On the way there, he's chayboin to Chazor Potter. He becomes a noise socha. He's not shoyel anymore. So also here, why is he chayboin on the way back? Going back of this person who was selling the wine is like going there. Why that? My time is svaru. On the way back. If he finds a buyer on the way back, would he not sell the wine on the way back? If he can make profit, for sure he would. So therefore, on the way back, it's also like on the way there. If he finds a customer, he'll sell it to him, and therefore it's still under his achrais and his chayv be'oins him. And it's not like the case where he sent presents to his father-in-law, that once his father-in-law said no, he doesn't have any benefit from it. We learned in the Mishnah that if Reuben tells Shimon, I'll guard for me and I'll guard for you, so he's a shomer sacha, because the payment is that the other person will guard for him as well. Practicing more about my shmira bebailimi. So to understand this sugi, we have to know there is a din of mesam bal of imoy. It's a din that we learn by shoyel that if someone lent his friend the item, let's say he lent him a donkey, and by the time of when he gave over the donkey, he was doing some work for the guy who he's lending it to. That's called ba'ol of imoy. So when the ever is ba'ol of imoy by shoyel, that the din of the shoyel is potter. He's not a shoyel and he's potter. And that din applies also not only for a shoyel, it also applies by shomer socha. So if I'm doing work, Reuven's doing work for Shimon, and Shimon's doing work for Reuven at the same time, so it's considered ba'al of imoy. His owner is with him, and in that case, you're potter. So why does it say Yashem Esacha? Amar Papa, the Omale, it's talking about where Reuven told Shimon, Shmoyle, you guard for me today, and I'll guard for you tomorrow. So when Reuven took the chayfetz to guard it when Shimon took the chayfetz to guard it for Reuven today, so Reuven was not working for Shimon. And when Reuven was guarding the chayfetz tomorrow, for Shimon. Shimon's not working for Reuven because it's in separate times, and therefore it's not considered Baal of Imoy, and therefore there's no ptur of Baal of Imoy. Tanu Rabbanon, we learned Shmor li ve'eshmor lecha. God for me and I'll God for you. Ashileni borrow me v'ashilcha and I'll lend you. Shmor li, God for me v'ashilcha, and you God for me something and I'll lend you out something. Ashileni, lend me v'eshmor lecha, and I'll God for you. Kulo nashu shomer socha zelezeh. They all considered shomer socha. Correct the Gemara v'amai shmir b'bailim. Like the kasha we just asked before, the other person's working with you and therefore you should be potter. Omar Papa, the Amalei, the same Tarek, Shmor li hayoim, I'll God for you today, ve'eshmor lecha lemachar. You'll God for me today, and I'll God for you tomorrow, and therefore it's a different period of time, and therefore the din is not considered Baal of Imoy. Anu haluye. These people who would sell these senses to make a washing, it's like washing powder. The chol yoima, the everyday ave opile chad minai. One of them would bake for them. Oh, yoima, that day, Omru leli chad minai, they told one of them, Zilafilon, go bake for us. Omalehu, so he told them, naturally glimoy, guard my garment for me, and I'll go bake for you. Adeosa, until he came back, Poshuba, they were poishea in this garment, V'ignuv, and they got stolen the garment. Also, the Kamedra Papa, to know what the din, Chayvinu, he said, Yechayev. You're showing it, you're poishea, Yechayev. Papa, why is it so? Amai pshia bebailim. It's bebailim when they were guarding this cloak for this person. This person went to do a job for them, so it's called bebailim, and therefore you potter even bepshia. Ichsif. Rav Papa got embarrassed because he said the wrong psak. Lasoif at the end, Igloi Milsa was found out that time when he gave them to God the garment. Shichra ave koshoti. The other guy who went to bake didn't go to bake yet. He was drinking beer, and therefore it's not called Baal of Imoy because he wasn't doing anything for the people who were guarding the garment when he gave it to them over. And kedei to be nechshav Baal of Imoy, you need b'shas the sheila, b'shas the shmira to be doing a melacha, and then he wasn't doing a melacha to those people, and therefore Rav Papa's psak that is chayev is correct because it's not Baal of Imoy. Tell the Gemara, Hanicha, that's very good. Lemando Mapshia bebailim potter. And not only Oines and Shem Socha is potter bebailim, but even Pshia, if the guy Mamish didn't guard the Chayfet and he was a Pshia, if it was bebailim, you're potter. Mishum Ochi Ichsif, that's why Rav Papa got embarrassed. Elo lemando machayev lefi the shitta that even though we say Baal of Imo is potter, but not by Pshia, amay ichsif, why did he get embarrassed? These people were poishea with the garment, and therefore lefi the shitta Pshia bebailim is chayev. There's no shine on Rav Papa. Why did Rav Papa get embarrassed? Says that the Gemara Elo, the story was a little different. Oh yoy melav didehu. It wasn't his day. It wasn't his day. And they asked him, do us a toiva, and please go bake for us at you. And he told them, with that payment for going to bake that you need to normally pay someone, guard my garment for that payment I'm baking for you. That will be a payment for guarding my cloak, and therefore they show mesacha. Ados, until he came back, Agni got stolen, and they're showing mesacha. Also, came there a papa chayvinu, he was mechayiv them because they were showing mesacha on the garment. When he went to bake their goods, he was working for them when he gave them the cloak, and therefore it's shmir bebailim, and therefore Hashem mesacha is potter for gneva aveda when it's bebailim. Hichsif, he got embarrassed. So if at the end of the day, Igli Milsa, we found out that Shaita in that time, Shachar Abashoti, he never went to bake yet, and therefore it's not called Bebailim, and therefore it makes sense that he's Chai because it's not Shmir Bebailim, and we don't have any kasha from Pshia, the man Doma that Pshia Bebailim is Potter or Chai, there's no kasha because he wasn't Pshia, it was Gneva Vaveda. Tell the Gemara, Anu Beitrei. These two people, the Ava Komask Barucha, they were going in the way. Chad Arich, one was tall, Chad Gutza, and one was short. Aricha, the tall one, Rochiv Chamer, was riding the donkey. The Ava Sadina, and he was wearing a flax clothes. that's doesn't absorb water a lot, it doesn't get very heavy. Gutza, the short one, Michzi Sarbala, is wearing a woolen clothes that gets very heavy in the water, Vikomaski Bikari, and he was walking. Kimoti Linara, when they came to the river, Shakle Sarbale, he took his wool garment, and he put it on the donkey that shouldn't get wet. And he took the flax garment from the person on the donkey, Dahu of the other one, and he covered himself because if he gets wet, it won't get too heavy. The water pulled the flax garment off him and it disappeared. Also, it came in front of Rava this case. He was mechayev, the short person, to pay. Why is he chayev? Sheila bebailim hi l'chora. It's sheila bebailim. When he was guarding this, when he took the sheila to take the flax garment, he gave the other person to help him with the wool garment, and therefore he's working for him, and therefore sheila bebailim is potter. Why is he chayev? Hichsif, so Rava got embarrassed. Lasoif, at the end, it turned out that this person, the short person, took it without permission, the flax garment, and is like a gazlin. And without permission, he gave him the woolen garment, and therefore it wasn't bedas, it's like a gneva, and therefore he's chayiv ba'ointzim. And therefore Rava's psak is chayiv was the correct psak. Au Gabra, this person, that he rented out a donkey to his friend. Omale, he told the renter, Chosi, have a look, don't go on the way, there's two ways how to go to where you need. Don't go in the way of Nar Pkoit, the Ikamaya, because there's water over there. Vil Ba'ucha de Narash, going the other way through Narash. Elekamaya, there's no water over there. Ozi Ba'ucha de Nar Pkoit, the renter didn't listen and he went in the direction where there is water, Umeis Chamro, and the donkey died. Kiosa, when he came back, Omar, he said, I agree. I did go in the way I wasn't meant to go. But there's no water over there, so I wasn't a Poshea because it didn't die because of the water. We have a Migu. He could have lied. And it said, he could have said, I could have gone. He could have said he lied and said he went in the other direction. So now they didn't lie, we should believe him that there was no water there, and therefore he's not Poshea. Because there's no water there, and therefore he's potter. When do we say I believe someone? Because what he's saying, because they've said a better lie, that's when what he's saying now, we don't have Eidim about it. But here, it's like we have Eidim that in the direction where he was not allowed to go in Nar Pkoid there was water. We know there's water there, so we can't believe him there's no water there, because if not, he would lie. Because we know there's water there, and therefore he's a Poshea, and therefore he's Chayev. We learned in the Mishnah, Reuben comes to Shimon and said, can you guard this for me? And Shimon told him, put it in front of me. So Shimon becomes the Shemichinom. If Shimon said, don't put it in front of me, he said, put it in front of you. He's not no Shemichinom and he's no Shemisocha. Because he said, put it in front of you means I'm not guarding it for you, and therefore he's nothing. So we have until here clearly. If he said Anach lefonai, you become a Shemichinom. Put it in front of me, you're a Shemichinom. If he said put it in front of you, he's nothing. Correct the Gemara Boilu, what's the din? Hanach stoma. He said put it down. Reuben comes to Shimon, can you guard this for me? And Shimon tells him put it down. It doesn't say in front of me or in front of you. Is that like in front of me that he's taking Shmir, or is that like in front of me that he's not taking Shmir? Toshma kama listen, Shmir li. Said in the Mishnah, guard it for me, Omar loy, and he told him, Anach lefon, I put it in front of me, Shemechino. Hostoma. If he said, put it, and he didn't say in front of me, Veloy klum, he's nothing, he's not even a Shemechino. So we have a raya, Tao Shaila. Said the Gemara, no, Adarabba, I have a raya the opposite, Mid Omar Rav Huna. Since Rav Huna said, Anach lefonecho. If Shimon said, put it in front of you, in that case, he's nothing. He's not Shemechinam and not Shemesacha. Hostoma, if he wasn't put in front of you, he just said, put it down. Shemechinam, he is a Shemechinam. So we have a raya the opposite. We don't have a raya from this case. Not to this direction and not to this direction. Says the Shiloh, when someone comes and says, "Can you guard this for me?" and his friend says, "Put it down," is the Asher Mechinom or not? Is the Machlokes Tanoim? It says, "Im Ichnis B'Rishus Bal Chotza Chayev." So it's a Mishnah in Bobby Kama, potter who put his pot in the private property of someone, and the ox of the owner broke it. Or he put in his ox into the private property, and the ox of the owner gored the ox of the balabais, or ate his fruit of the person who put it without permission. So if it was without permission, you potter. But it says over the Mishnah, if the person of the private property let him put it in, so the balachotz chayev. If his animal caused damage to the person who put it in, to his fruit or to his pot or to his animal, so the balachotz chayev because he gave him permission. So the Rebbe and then Rebbe Oima bekulam chayev. No, the owner of the private property is not chayev on the damage that was caused to the person who put it in. Until the balabais says, "I'm going to guard you chafotzim." It's not enough to let him permission to put it in, that then he's mikaber shmira. He's only mikaber shmira if he clearly is mikaber. If he says, "I'm mikaber shmira." So we understand the Rebbe holds anach stam. He's not mikaber shmira, and Tanakama holds the anach stam. He is mikaber shmira. The chur, it's a machlokes tanoim. Said the Gemara, no. Mimai, no. Dilma, maybe ad kaloi korm rabbanon. The whole reason why Rabbanon over there said that you become a shoyma hosam ela bechotza de basne turiu, because he put it into Reuven's chotza, let's say it's private Reuven's chotza, and he asked permission and he put it in, and he said anach, and it's a guarded place. When he said come bring it in, it means ail the interloch komale. It means bring it in and I'll guard it for you, because it's a guarded place. Aval hocha, where it's talking about in the shuka, in the market, labaneturu, it's not guarded by itself. So when he says anoch, he means to say anoch v'tiv notaloch, and go guard it. I'm not guarding it. If you put it in a guarded place, that's guarded for me. So if I let you permission to put it in, it means I'm going to guard it for you. But in the Rishus Rabbim, all it means to say, no problem, put it down and you guard it. So there's no raya that Rebbe that Tanakama holds that anach means you mekaber shmira. Anoch v'tiv notaloch kormalei. Inami, and in the opposite case of Rebbe, ad kanoi korma Rebbe. When did Rebbe say over there in Bobby Kama Hosom over there Elo bechatzero? When it's in his chotza, when he asked, "Can I put it down?" and he said, "Yes, anoch." All what he means to say is, "I lay you permission to put it in my chotza, but I was never mekabel shmira." When he gave him permission, to put it in. You can put it in, but you have to guard it. I'm not your shoyma, but you put it in my chotza. Aval hocha over here, where it's sumat in Rishus Rabbim, hanoch. It must mean when he said put it down, when Reuben came to Shimon and said guard it for me, and Shimon told him put it down, it must mean they mean then I'll guard it for you. If he means to say put it down and you guard it, does Reuben need permission from Shimon to put down in Rishus Rabbim items? For sure Reuben's allowed to put down items in Rishus Rabbim. So what does Shimon say, put it down? Why is he giving him Rishus? Elamai, when Shimon said put it down, he means to say, put it down and I'll guard it for you. But in a case where it's a private property where he's not allowed to put it down, so when he said put it down, all he meant to say, I'll let you put it down, but it doesn't mean I'll guard it for you, and therefore we can't bring a raya from those machlokes tanoim to our shaila in Rishus Rabbim, and we don't have an answer to this shaila. We're going to finish here. Today is 26 days, that's 3 weeks and 5 days to the Oimon. Shkoyach.